Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Degenerate Centimeters podcast. I'm your host, Jordan, and guess what, guys? We got Daniel once again in the building. This is the longest streak ever, I feel like. Thank you for being here,
What's up,
Daniel.
guys?
Um, 1 and 2 day to wrap off the month. Um, Daniel got his pick right. Before I even get into the recap, I just gotta give Daniel his flowers. He's been killing it. A lot of plus money hockey picks, and they've been cashing. So thank you, Daniel.
No problem.
But
You're welcome, guys.
I'm not too mad about the 1 and 2. Honestly, I think I called these games pretty good. Just a lot of bullshit happened. Celtics couldn't make a free throw to save their lives at the end of the game. Um, I believe they ended the game with 118. We needed 3 more points. Um, yeah, Kristaps Porzingis missed two clutch free throws at the end. Um, Jaylen Brown also missed a few clutch ones. We could have gotten bailed out by overtime, but then Jason Tatum decided he's actually the number one option on his team and hit a game winner with zero point 0.2 seconds left. So not too upset about that one. And then Nuggets do win their game outright, but don't cover the spread. Let me see how much they won by. I'm blanking here. 1 second, guys. They win by 3. Yeah, Philly played a good game. And I think I'm starting to understand that Philly might be an over team, especially with this lineup that they're currently rocking with all these injuries. So good to know for the future. But yeah, we go 1 and 2, and we go down 1.35 units on the day. Before we kick it off with today's picks, Daniel, it's time for the monthly recap.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm ready.
I'm kind of glad we had such a bad month this early on into the podcast. Um, if I'm being honest, I really don't think it can get much worse than how January went. Daniel, I think you could agree with me on that.
It's pretty bad.
Um, don't get me wrong, we do sprinkle in some plus money odds, but like most of our bets are around what, like 48%, like the minus 110 mark. Um,
Yeah. So
so
that.
the fact that we went 20 and 33 on picks, I I think it's
Pretty
impressive. I
spread.
think it's impressive. We
Yeah.
went against the odds, just the wrong way. Um, yeah, and as far as units, guys, uh, we went down minus 19.3. Uh, I don't
That's
really.
a lot of money.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Like I said, I built up my bankroll for a long time before we started the podcast. Um, for the whole first month of the podcast, I did, like, there was no new money being deposited. That was house money essentially, and just gone out the window. So
Wow.
yeah. Um, Obviously, yeah, plan to do better. I think we will. Like I said, um, got 11 straight weeks of UFC. Hopefully, that's something nice we can turn to some profits. Um, I feel obligated to apologize, but at the same time, this is gambling, so there is some risk involved. But if you guys are still rocking with us after this rough month, I appreciate you. And we're kicking off February with 4 picks today. One from the NHL, 2 NBA picks, and then we have a UFC bet with an early card starting at noon today. So I'm gonna give the floor to Daniel because he's been on fire, and he's gonna give us his hockey pick for the day.
All right, fellas. So let me just get my odds here real quick. We got one pick coming in today for the NHL, as usual. We are taking Tampa Bay Lightning minus 1.5 against the Islanders for plus 140. Now, honestly, the Islanders have kind of been on a tear here. They're on a 6 win streak. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. But I mean, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they need that wild card spot. They're holding on to it for dear life. I think at this point in the season, they really have to go all out in order to actually secure that playoff spot because let's be honest, the East is extremely, extremely competitive at this moment. Um, Everybody's within like a point of each other. The Islanders are also trying to secure a spot. They're like 3 points out, I think. Um, but So both these teams are going to be playing real hard. I think it's going to be somewhat of a close game, but I think at the end of the day, Tampa Bay is going to take it home, and I think they're going to take it home by more than one goal. Um, they also are beating the Islanders in almost every stat other than face-off percentage. Their power play is fifth in the league, and the Islanders' power play is 32nd, which is last. Um, and then the Islanders' penalty kill is 31st in the league. So what I'm thinking here is pretty much any power play that goes to the Tampa Bay Lightning, they're probably going to score on it. Um, so yeah, watch out for those. So that's all I really have. Other than that, we got the side bets. We are going to take Kucherov for over half an assist and Braden Point for over half a goal. And I'm swinging the rock over to Jordan.
Thanks, man. Funny story, guys. We actually met Nikita Kucherov on NHL 23. But
Oh yeah, he was really
anyways,
drunk.
yeah, very drunk. Um, Also, Brandon Daniel texted me his pick earlier. For some reason, I always forget the Islanders are like a team. Not to like diss them or anything, but like if the
Pretty disrespectful,
if
man.
if the Islanders got like disbanded like right now, I probably would never realize.
Like, listen, I don't think they're that bad of a team.
No,
They
it's
made it to the playoffs last
it has
season.
nothing
They're
to do
just
with like the team
really
scaling.
irrelevant.
I feel like they just get like no media coverage. Like even when I'm on the ESPN app, like I just feel like my brain doesn't like comprehend the Islanders name for some reason. I don't know. But yes, thank you for the pick, Daniel. Um,
Mhm.
moving on, we'll start with UFC since that is early. Like I said, main card starts at noon. A lot of good fights. We have Sergey Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rosenstruck. Good heavyweight clash. We have MVP versus Shara Magomedov. Good fight. That's the fight I do have a bet on. And then
Go.
Israel Adesanya taking on Nasruddin Imavov. Pretty good fight night card. But yeah, as far as the Pavlovich fight, the every single line for Sergey is just so juiced. Like I don't feel like paying that just in case it doesn't hit. But I think he steamrolls Rosenstruck. He's gonna win in the first round. So consider that my side bet for the day. But yeah, for this MVP and Shara Bullet fight, two very striking heavy fighters here. Um, the fight to not go the distance is at plus 155. Um, Not saying this is a lock or anything like that, but like I said, two very striking heavy fighters here. And MVP or sorry, Shara's last fight against Arman Petrosian, he busted out the craziest double spinning back fist ever, and really pulled that knockout out of nowhere. And I do think there's a little bit of pressure on MVP here. He hasn't really done anything that impressive since coming over to the UFC, and he is in his mid 30s. So I feel like if he wants to make anything happen as far as maybe a title run or like a high profile fight, I think he really has to go out there and derail this hype train of Shara. And I think in order to do that, he's going to have to knock him out. So I think both fighters here are going to be swinging for the fences. Both fighters are very interesting strikers. So I think they will definitely be finding each other's chins multiple times in this fight. And hopefully one of those strikes knocks someone down and puts them out. So yeah, first pick of the day, taking fight not to go the distance for Michael Venom Page versus Shara Magomedov for zero point 0.8 units. I was contemplating taking MVP money line, but his odds are like plus 160, and the fight to not go the distance is plus 155. Just in case MVP gets flatlined. That's little. I'll take the plus +0.05 differential there. Next up, we're looking at the Wizards at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves have been on fire. I know I did kind of talk a little bit of shit about them when the season was first getting underway. But yeah, they're catching for their team total here 117.5 points. On the year, they average 111.3 points per game. Obviously, that's a little lower, but I really don't need to go into how bad the Wizards are, do I? In the last three Timberwolves games, they're averaging 119.7. And they put up 138 points against the Jazz, which is their last game, I believe. And another 121 against the Suns in a little conference showdown there. So pretty good stuff we're seeing out of Minnesota. The Timberwolves are also returning from a little mini 2 game road trip, while also being on a 5 game win streak. So I think they come back home and they want to put on a show for their fans, and get it done. As far as the Wizards side of things, um, they're giving up 122.2 points per game, which is 30th in the league, dead last. And just to look at some of their most recent games, they gave up 134 points to the Los Angeles Lakers without Anthony Davis. Uh,
No AD.
yeah, I think uh, you know a healthy Timberwolves team is definitely much more deep than this Lakers team without AD. And I think I can't remember. I think I called Anthony Edwards a domestic terrorist on this podcast once. Hopefully he can redeem himself. So
You
I'm
locked
taking.
in.
Uh, I'd hope. Yeah, I mean, he has been locking in apparently on this 5 game win streak here. Um, oh, my apologies, guys. The line was at 118 and a half. So that's what we're taking. Timberwolves over 118 and a half points, sitting at minus 130. So 1.3 units on that one. And then last game of the night to wrap things up. This game actually starts at 5. I just realized, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I watch a lot of these games at work. I go in the early afternoon, so I like when games start early because I have something to you know keep my eyes on. But anyways, we're looking at the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. Um, Atlanta Hawks have dropped their last 7 games. I might be biased because I'm a Heat fan, but I think Trae Young fucking sucks. And the Atlanta Hawks fucking suck. Um, uh, Interestingly enough, I just found this out today. The Pacers are actually the ninth best team ATS this season. A lot of teams are actually hanging around like that 50% mark, and then you have like Cleveland and OKC. Um, but yeah, Pacers are obviously much better against the spread, and they have been doing a lot better. Like I mentioned, I know we talked about the Pacers a couple episodes ago. They started the season out pretty rough. Turning things around though, they've won 4 out of the last 5, I believe. Let me double check that. Yep, 4 out of the last 5. Um, yeah, Trae Young's also a game time decision. If he is out, Pacers by 40. Um, but if he is playing, the Atlanta Hawks will still be without Clint Capella, so giving up a lot of size, which the Pacers do have a lot of. We have Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. So I think they'll have a field day on this Atlanta Hawks team. And Jalen Johnson is also out for the season, which I just found out today as well. I know I talked about the Hawks maybe like a week or two ago, and Jalen Johnson was out. But yeah, he was averaging 19 points per game, so missing him is a very critical scorer. And yeah, the Pacers just have much more depth. And given that they are at home, this is definitely a rough environment for the Hawks. Um, Pacers are catching 7.5 points as favorites. I'm cool with it. If you want to bump it up, like 8.5, maybe. The line did open at 6.5. So if you still have that on your book and you can bump it up to 7.5 and get it plus money, I say go for it. But yeah, for final pick of the night, we are taking the Pacers minus 7.5 for 1.1 units. And before we kick things into the recap, Daniel, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Hold on. Give me 1 second here.
While he's looking, guys, Terry Rozier is under federal investigation for
I did hear about this
yeah,
actually.
some gambling operation, like that guy from the Raptors, Jonte Porter. I think the Heat are just turning into the Charlotte Hornets at this point. That yeah, yeah.
Pretty much. We got an update from yesterday about the Columbus Blue Jackets. They've taken the first wild card spot. They've taken Boston out of the race. Boy, am I excited about that. They're 2 points ahead of the Lightning. So huge, huge stuff coming in.
I think that
Uh,
motivates the Lightning even more to win their
yeah,
game
well,
tomorrow
there's that.
or today. Sorry.
But also, Columbus Blue Jackets in the playoffs for the first time in a while. I mean, that's pretty cool. I like to see that. So that's all I got though.
Yeah. Um, that's gonna do it for today, guys. We're gonna kick it into the recap. Um, Fight to not go the distance. Co-main event tomorrow. MVP versus Shara Bullet for zero point 0.8 units. Lightning minus 1.5 for zero point 0.8 units as well, as that is plus money, which Daniel has been on fire with lately. So I think we'll take this one down. Pacers minus 7.5 against the Mid Atlanta Hawks, 1.1 units. And then Timberwolves over 118.5 points for 1.3 units. And that is going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully, we start February off strong, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Shout out, Evan.
Shout out, Evan.